And she also gave you a warning. So thank you guys all very
Mike.
much for joining us.
Hi, Mike.
Here comes, I was gonna say, here comes my sommelier. I'm Chris Schneider. Thank you also very much for joining us tonight as we install this woman, Uta, as our president a little bit early this year. So Linda, if you don't mind, would you introduce Mr. Schneider?
Okay, I have a novel here to read from. Kidding. So I get to introduce.
You don't have to read it all.
I don't have to read it all? Oh no, I'm going to read every last bit of it. You're such an engineer. So I get to introduce Chris Schneider. He was district governor in District 5890 in 2012-2013. He's a 1984 graduate of Farley Dickinson University in Teaneck, New Jersey. Holds a degree in mechanical engineering. He's a Cold War veteran, having served in the U.S. Army and Army Reserve from 1982 to 1992. His most memorable assignment was serving as aide-de-camp, did I say that right? To the Deputy Commanding General of the U.S. Army Training Center and at Fort Dix, New Jersey. He's honorably separated from the U.S. Army in 1992 at the rank of captain. His military awards include the Army Reserve Achievement Medal, Army Achievement Medal, and the Army Commendation Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster. In 1987, after leaving active duty, he joined GMAC, Inc., a high-pressure technologies company located in New Bern, North Carolina, and Alvin, Texas, with factories located in Germany and Poland. GMAC offers engineering, technical, sales, and service for the equipment supplied to the chemical, petrochemical, steel, food, and pharmaceutical industries that require high pressure, oh my goodness, equipment such as pumps, valves, and accessories. They also specialize in hydroblasting, cutting equipment from the individual tools to complete systems. He's currently vice president of GMAC. In 1988, he was invited to join the Rotary Club of Englewood, New Jersey in District 7490. In 92-93, he served as president, making him one of the youngest presidents in the district at age 30. In 1997, he moved to Houston and was invited to join the Memorial Spring Branch Houston Rotary Club and served as its president in 2001-2002. He has served District 5890 as area membership chair from 2006 to 2008, assistant governor from 2008 to 2011, was honored as Assistant Governor of the Year 2008-2009 by past District Governor Rhonda Kennedy. His classification is mechanical engineering. He's a graduate of the 2011 Gulf Coast Leadership Institute. He's a major donor, multiple Paul Harris Fellow, member of the Bequest Society, White Hat Society, Paul Harris Society, the District Polio Plus Society. He's also a regional director for the Rotary Global History Fellowship and regional director for International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians North America in the Central Region, South Central Region. He served as district chair for the 2019 Rotary International Convention in Hamburg, Germany, bringing more than 60 Rotarians from District 5890 to Hamburg. His wife, Uta, beautiful wife, Uta, was instrumental in coordinating the travel arrangements, including local tours in her home country. He's currently the host events chair for the 2022 Rotary International Convention in Houston, Texas. He's an endowment life member of the NRA and was named as a 2003 NRA Patriot of the Year. He's a member of the American Legion. His professional organizations include the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Steel Manufacturers Association, and the Water Jet Technology Association. His father, Horst, is a multiple Paul Harris Fellow and past president of the Rotary Club of New York, Club number 6. Chris's brother and business partner, Andreas, is also a Rotarian and Paul Harris Fellow. Chris is married to Uta, his childhood sweetheart. I want to know more about that one. He's also a Rotarian. He has 4 children. Crystal, 35, a veteran of the United States Navy. Twins Nicholas and Brianna, 27, and Hannah, 18. Chris and Uta also have 2 granddaughters, Ariana, 11, and Adelaide, 5. So I give you Chris Schneider.
Well, thank you for that lengthy introduction. The problem they say, if you start giving a past district governor the opportunity to speak, it takes forever. So I've got about a 5-hour speech here that will do for this induction. Only kidding. All right, let's get the show on the road. Again, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be here and the installing officer for your officers for the coming year. As I hope you know, the Rotary clubs are unusual amongst service organizations in that its members do not directly participate in determining the policies and guidelines of the club. This important function is entrusted to the board of directors. This is the governing body of the Rotary Club. As a result, the business affairs of the club are determined away from the open forum of the club meeting, thereby preserving the dignity, harmony, and fellowship of the regular meeting. Rotary International and its clubs are also unusual that every year we change leadership. This includes the president of Rotary International, all 535 district governors, and all 35,000 club presidents in 207 countries and geographic areas around the world. As a result, much of the personalities of Rotary International and the clubs are actually a reflection of its leaders, and thus the character of a Rotary club changes each and every year. In the true spirit of Rotary, it encourages and fosters the ideals of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and depends upon the depth of understanding of the object of Rotary by its club president and other men and women that the club elects as its leaders. Yet the key to Rotary growth and service is the individual Rotarian pursuing the goals and objectives we set forth each year. You, the individual members of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians, are the electors. You have chosen to use your vote to elect from your membership the men and women who will guide the club's fortunes in the year ahead. This will be your coming action team. But before we continue with this, we'd like to recognize all the current officers and directors by waving, and we want to thank you for your service. And in the infamous words of Donald Trump, you are fired. For the next few minutes, we'll recognize your new officers and directors. They will stand before you and accept their duties and responsibilities of their offices. First, will President Amanda Windle please wave and be recognized? There she is.
Felicia?
President Amanda, as the immediate past president, which is the best job in Rotary, you're automatically a member of the board of directors. You are now on the threshold of passing the mantle of leadership to President-elect Uta. We all recognize the value of your knowledge and experience in the affairs of Rotary and your club in particular. It is time for you to recognize that your greatest value now rests in your ability and desire to assist rather than direct the leadership of your club. You must now resist the temptation to unduly influence or overshadow the personalities and goals of your club president and your fellow board members. You are to be ever willing, but not insistent, to provide counsel and advice to your president. If you agree that this is a fair evaluation of your obligations as the immediate past president, please respond by saying, I do.
I do.
Awesome. So will the following officers please wave and be recognized? Secretary Deborah Teplitz. There she is. I don't see Rory online, so he's not present. No. Okay. So, Deborah, secretary is a big job. Many people wise in the ways of Rotary believe that this office of secretary is the second most vital position in the life of a Rotary club and a great learning and service experience. You must keep records of attendance, minutes of the meeting, and file many reports, many of these which have important deadlines. But most importantly is to review and file the Rotary International Semi-Annual Report, also known as the SAR. If you accept these responsibilities, please say, I do.
I do.
Awesome, thank you. So without Rory being here, do we have any of our directors? I don't see, yes, we do. So our directors, you have your director for service projects is PDG Jerry Jackson. He's not online. Then you have your membership team, Amanda Windle and Keith Lindgren, and your foundation chair team, Scott Nelson, who I see, and Ron Mead. So wave if I called your name so we see who you are. There you go.
Chris, we also have Jim Dodmead, who is one of our one of our active directors.
Okay, we'll include him, Jim. So you as the directors, your vision and understanding of the object of Rotary and the application of it to the programs of your club are the critical responsibilities of the governing body of the Rotary Club. Your interpretation of existing needs of the club and the capacity of the club to meet those needs under the leadership of your president may well determine the success or failure of your club during the ensuing year. I charge you to conduct the affairs of this club in good harmony and fellowship, and to enhance the stature of your club in all 5 avenues of service. If you agree to this charge, please respond by saying I do.
I do.
Excellent, thank you. Is David online? No, he's not online, is he? Oh, wow, okay, well, this is gonna make this quick. So before I go any further and begin the installation of Uta, I have to tell you a few things about this young lady that's coming to be your president. Despite being the love of my life, she came to Houston in 2012, and I immersed her into the Rotary world as the spouse of the sitting district governor, visiting more than 60 Rotary clubs. She planned and executed 3 motorcycle rides to end polio now, raising an average of $12,000 for every ride. She was heavily involved in the administration of 3 District 5890 RILA camps. Youth is a big passion of ours. She has supported many of the clubs in this district with fundraisers, especially the smaller outlying clubs in the district, with little gifts so they can auction them off so she could help them raise money. In 2018, she was awarded at the district conference in San Antonio Spouse of the Year by then District Governor Bill Palco for her selfless work in the district. She's been heavily recruited by many of the clubs in this district. However, she decided to follow her passion and accepted the invitation to join the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians and the International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians North America. She's been an avid rider for more than 25 years. And besides being with me, I think she likes to be with her iron horse just as much. So that's just a little insight into who your new president is going to be. So Uta, please wave and be recognized so we can see. There you are. You have been elected president of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians for the year 21-22. It is the duty of the president to preside at the meetings of the club and board of directors to perform such duties as pertain to this office. The members of this club, with their vote, have recorded their confidence in you that you have the spirit of service. You have the ability to lead them into your head. You understand the principles of Rotary. You are truly representative of your profession, and that you have the courage of a leader and the humility of a servant. I charge you to lead this club in only those actions which exemplify the highest principles of Rotary, that you conduct the affairs of this club in accordance with the Constitution and bylaws of both Rotary International and this club, and to strive to make our theme, serve to change lives, the heart and soul of the club. Thus, if you accept this charge, please respond by saying, I do.
I do.
Okay. So will all the members of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians please wave and be recognized? Make sure we've got all the members. Please, all the members wave so we know who are the members. Okay. Thank you. You have seen those you have selected and elected to lead your club into your head. You have heard the promises that they have made. In response thereto, do you now individually and collectively agree to support and sustain them in their work, that the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians may truly exemplify the highest standards of service above self? If you do so agree, please respond by saying, I do.
I do.
Excellent. So President Amanda, you will now symbolically pass the gavel of authority to President Uta. And I have to take a very quick break and I'll be right back. So hold on to your hats.
I don't know where you are in the picture. Are you over here?
No, I'm on the left side.
You're over here. Wait, I can pass you a motorcycle.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
For that little recording.
Okay, lady, stand up. Let's do this. Oops, got my cheat notes. So
Yes, sir.
I will now present you with the pin of the president of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians. So,
Thank you, Annie.
by the authority of Rotary International and the club vested in me as the installing officer, I now declare the officers and directors of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians duly installed. And Deborah, when you show up here, you'll get your pin too.
We missed her today. Now we-
So-
Congratulations, Uta.
Thank you.
Uta, your club is before you. You now have the floor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Aw. Yes, too.
It was only a little
Congrats.
joke he wanted to do, you know, so, yeah, wait a minute, I have to make the camera down again. So thank you guys for the honor to serve the club, and, you know, what everybody pretty much knows is that my goal is, you know, to have a good fellowship and friendship, and that we can all come together, hopefully in Houston next year. And this is where I'm working right now pretty hard. And you know, what Chris said, my passion is a motorcycle, and the other thing is to give and to help. And this is an opportunity. I hope we can do more this year than we could in Amanda's year, because you had the full bad part of COVID, you know, and even with the motorcycle, everything what we planned we couldn't do, and that was not nice. So, and if we can make a little bit more here in the South, and you know, that makes me so proud that, you know, Deb get the job as a secretary, because we are so close. We can really meet in person, and we like to meet in person also, you know. And it was sad that she couldn't stay with us tonight. That was a plan, you know, that we both get the pin, get both sworn in from Chris. And yeah, I wish us a good year. And after the year, and everything is done and everything works out like we planned, then I will be really happy about that, you know. But before I says it's only work first, you know. But I'm sure we have a good team now, and that we can go through as well. And I'm so happy that we are all that active, and I hope that we can do it more together. This is my biggest wish for the new year. Thank you.
Absolutely. I keep saying, Uta, that my year was kind of survive,
Yes.
revive, and then David's is thrive. David and Scott have thrive on their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, I know that we can get to a place where we get together, we can do all these things. I'm much looking forward to, Uta, to be honest, to learning along with you. I will impart whatever knowledge I have, which is pretty minimal. Linda knows everything. But you know,
Yes,
I
yes. Without
can help.
Linda, you are totally right. Without Linda, I see, you know, she's really a very important person in this club. Yeah.
And I want to say thank you to Mickey. I feel like we just kind of got you off the ground as the secretary, which
Thank you.
means fair game for next year's board elections. I'm just, you know. So thank you, Mickey. I you know, for us, this first grant, I know Jerry did the grant the first time for the Guatemala trip, but it's kind of like cheating, right? When the past district governor does the grant, like there's no
Yes.
there, and they're going to say yes no matter what. So Mickey, thank you very much for all of the work that you've put into that. Keith, thank you for working along with me this year to kind of lay the groundwork for what you and I are going to do this year with the membership committee. Scott, you got 2 years, man. I'm hoping that as we go into this year, I know I'm watching you, man. I'm watching this year. Hopefully you and I hope that you and Uta and David continue what Uta and David and I kind of started with the president's meeting and starting to do some long-term initiatives. And
I
Uta,
think this is a good thing to do it on this way, because then everybody's on the same page, you know, and I think make it different in this club makes no sense, honestly.
and Uta, I'm really looking forward to helping you with whatever your strategic goals are for this year. I know that we have a goals meeting in a couple of weeks where we're going to sit down and go through that. I want you to be better than me. Bar's pretty low. And I'm sure that we're going to do a great job. I'm very excited.
You did half the year without a secretary. I mean, I was
Yeah.
volunteered to take the secretary position, and I didn't even start till what, November? So you'd had,
I feel like you did enough between November and now to make up for the half a year that you were.
oh, well, thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, you were secretary-less for at least a half a year.
It's probably okay. I mean, you know, I got the minutes done, kind of.
Yeah.
Chris,
So,
thank
all
you
right.
again for joining us. And Carol and Nicola, thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. I'm not kicking anybody out, by the way. It sounded like I was wrapping up, and I'm definitely not. I have a bit of wine left still, so.
Yeah, we have to, wait. Before anybody leave, we have to make you a happy birthday song for tonight.
That's not
Yeah.
necessary. Mm-mm.
Yes, it is. So would we like to start,
Yeah.
please unmute it, you guys, and then we sing you a happy birthday song. Come on, guys.
I'll
No, we can start. So
1, 2,
One,
3.
3, happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Amanda.
Amanda.
Happy birthday to you. And many
Okay.
more.
Many more.
At least a couple. Wait, so I want to circle back. I'm still in work mode. I want to circle back so we can have some synergy. I want to circle back to what Chris said about marrying his childhood sweetheart, because I'm very curious about what that was all about.
Okay, honey, you have to start.
I have to start.
Yeah, you have to start.
Well, it turns out that my uncle lives in the same apartment building that Uta's parents lived in. So my parents used to take me back to Germany as a child to visit family. And Uta and I met in a sandbox behind the apartment building, playing in the sand. And over the years, we were, I guess you could say, boyfriend, girlfriend, until about when I was 14 or 15 years old. I went off to military school, and she wrote me a Dear John letter and broke my heart. And I wrote her a real mean letter back saying, how could you do this to me? I love you. And, all the teenage sob story that goes along with having a heart broken. And then we lost touch for 35 years. And I was in Germany one time at a trade show visiting my uncle, and Uta's mother came downstairs to borrow some sugar or some flour. And my uncle says, well, you recognize the guy sitting on the couch? And her mother said, of course, this is after 35 years, says, no, I don't recognize him. He goes, well, that's Chris. And as soon as she heard that, she completely forgot what she came downstairs for, went running upstairs and called Uta right away and said, Uta, you can't believe who's downstairs. And she said, well, it can only be Chris. So, and then she asked her mom, well, did you get his email or phone number? And she said, no, I forgot. So she tracked me down and then sent me an email after I had gotten back to Houston. And I fell off my chair when I got that email. And later that year, I flew over to Germany and we got together, and I told her, I said, I'll know the second I touch your hand whether or not that flame is still there. Well, lo and behold, that flame was still there. And
All
the
right,
rest
that's
is
like
history.
some Harlequin romance novel stuff, right? Impressive.
That's what the immigration officer said too.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm glad you guys found each other, because if you guys hadn't found each other, Uta wouldn't have found us and
That's true.
president list this year.
It's his fault. It's all his fault.
It's all Chris's fault. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we said after that, we missed so many years, we cannot wait. And so after that, we met the first time again. Then it took us 2 years before I came to America. Yeah. And everybody told him, when he met my mom, his cousin, my mom, everybody said, but he's married and he has 4 kids. And I said, okay, but it's not my fault, right? Yeah, so it was, our love was so hard and so powerful that we said we don't want to live without each other anymore.
Well, good.
Mhm.
Don't. I mean,
And that's 10 years ago now. So it's 10 years ago now, yeah.
I got 10 years on you, Uta. You're gonna have to catch up.
And I have to tell you, going to any Rotary functions with these two, I don't know. I have yet to meet somebody who didn't know them. It is absolutely amazing. Because they'd be a room full of people and they're like, oh, you're a guest to Chris? Oh, I know Chris. And we'll then launch into some story about, oh, well, we did X and Y. And I mean, it's hilarious. And I'm always very entertained. And I am very grateful to meeting both of them, because I would not be here without her. And then by association, Chris. So I always refer to Chris as like, he knows everything. So I know if I have a question, Chris will have an answer for me.
Well, that's why I sent you in the chat, Deb. I hope
Yeah.
to just be willing. It's very funny. I'm doing reviews with all of my direct reports at work, and I keep telling them, like, don't feel afraid to ask questions, because you're gonna look sillier if you don't ask questions, right? So please, please, please ask questions. And you're gonna ask me, and I'll be like, I have no idea. And I'm gonna go find the answer for you. But just, ask questions, ask questions. CC
Oh,
Scott, so he knows the answer's coming up, right?
It's also okay to say I don't know, because we don't know everything, and in kind of our universe now, things change so rapidly. So
And frankly, like we've talked about this year, maybe the way we do things isn't the best way to do things, right? So if you don't know and I don't know and I go get an answer, and I'm like, I don't think that's right. Like, we're gonna talk about it. So we're in a good place. I think, Uta, you will see that we have our club carries a lot of respect within the district, not least of which
Really?
because we have 6 past district governors
Oh.
as members of the club. Right? So no pressure. But when I went to Pets, they kind of expected me to know everything. And I was like, I joined Rotary 2 years ago. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That was the only thing we had different we had not in common, that you can go personal on Pets in your year and I couldn't.
I know. Well, yeah, kind of. I'm hoping that Scott and David have a completely different Pets. My
Yes.
halfway through, everybody disappeared like some kind of horrible apocalypse novel. But and you were completely virtual this year. So like you and I have talked about, Uta, I hope that we're able to say, hey, these were the problems that we saw. How can we fix them?
Yeah, but I think the problems what they have in the district, I see us in a little unique position, because we are really completely different. That makes also not easy for Chris tonight to make the installation, because he said, oh, do you have this or this? And I said, no, we don't need that at all, because that makes it also hard for our district governor, and she wants to visit us at I think it's the 25th of August. She will visit us, and she contacted me, by the way, because of the hotel, and she wanted that I organize some for us, for the whole district, an evening together. So this is my another job what I have. And she was also surprised. I think she didn't had us that much on the plate, not about the PDGs, but what we're doing. We are doing everything pretty independent, and I think this is also our power, that we can do that. And
it's our power, and I hope that what we can also do, we have the power to do everything independently. But my hope is that we can start becoming a little bit more involved in the district, because we do get oh, you guys are part of our district. Well, yeah.
That's why I invited them, both
yeah.
Linda and our woohoo. But I'm not a cheerleader, so I'm not that. It's not.
I like Brenda. Brenda is fantastic. She's a great listener.
Pretty powerful.
She's very powerful. She commands a room when she gets in. I think that you guys will actually get along quite well.
Yeah. So yeah, let us. I think it's teamwork. A club is always teamwork. It's only somebody the head in front. So I see me as a team member and not as a, only leadership person. That's not. I'm a team player.
And we're gonna put the pedal to the metal with membership this year.
But by the way, is Carol still there? I cannot see her right now.
Carol has dropped off, and so has
Nicola. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
But Carol, when she comes back, she is also somebody. I think it's good to have her.
I would love to have her as a speaker. I'd love to hear her.
No problem. We can do that.
Right? So, that'd be kind of cool when she gets back next year.
Yeah. So they will come back in November. Actually, this is a plan that they are completely gone. They started in November and they want to come back in November. And
you don't want to be in Chicago in November.
No, of course not. But she's also a writer, and she was, when she quit her job, also vice president of a company. They sell pipes for the oil and gas industry. So she's big in the business, oil and gas. So, and I met her in another meeting, and we are friends over 3 years now. So, And yeah, I think she would be perfect fitting, you know. And we know she brought me to a DEPS group of motorcycle women. So, and then when we find out, you know, the world is sometimes pretty small, you know, so. And this is all about connection. This is what I learned in my life, you know,
That's my
connection
favorite.
and who I can ask. You
And
know,
that's part of, you know, you know why I joined, right? My exchange year was so formative. I learned so much about both myself and about the world. And, you know, it's all about who you talk to and understanding who other people are. And
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I think we're in a unique position where it's funny, the district is all like, you know what, your club needs to match the demographics of your area.
yeah.
So what does that mean for our club? And I think for our club, that means we just need to be super diverse, right? Like we need to have every flavor of American you can possibly have. And that would be matching the demographics of our area, right? Because we have no area. We're just North America.
Exactly, yeah. But when we're getting a little bit more members in the different areas, that everybody from us have somebody more to ride, that would be awesome, you know, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So do you want to make the bell?
I do want to make the bell. Yeah, I do.
Last chance.
I forgot to do it. I know. Well,
Thank
no,
you,
I think technically I'm on the hook for the next couple meetings still, right? But let me,
Yes.
Technically till the 1st of July.
yeah, you would think, yeah, I've got 3 more weeks. You would think at this point I would have this like down pat, but I still stink at it. Let's see if I can find my bell here.
And before we sign off, I want to share something from Australia, IFMR.
Mhm.
You can do it right now if you'd like.
Okay, so I got an email from Tony Moyle. He's in South Australia, but Dieter Schneider, if you guys remember him.
Yeah, Würzburg.
Yep, on June 12th, he's doing a Black Rottweiler ride in Germany for depression and suicide prevention.
Oh, and he's, by the way, he's also a member of the IFMR chapter in Germany, Austria,
Yeah.
Switzerland.
But what they're asking people to do is do a ride and then donate $24 Australian, 15 euros. So whatever that works out to, I haven't done that yet. And then go for a ride and then write a very brief report and email it to IFMR Australia. I'll send.
You said that's June. Good. Deb, could you make sure that that makes its way into an event on Facebook so that we can share?
I'll send the information to her. But that
Thank you
just
very much.
And I give you, Linda, I give you the contact, Facebook contact from Carol, so that we can.
I already sent her a friend request.
Oh, okay, you found her.
Yeah, I'll send
And
her.
we have someone else who's joined us, Gwen Corolla,
Hey, Gwen.
for joining us.
Hi, everybody. How are y'all?
Good.
You missed it. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't miss it. This is the best part. This is where we're just chatting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Gwen
I'm
and
gonna get the meeting too.
yeah, Gwen and Wayne are also good Rotary friends from us, and my partner in crime when it comes to the polio ride, right?
That's
So
right.
she was president at the time. I did it the first time. She was president of the club, and she was going on Christopher's motorcycle in the back. She made the whole trip with what we did, and she was wet. You remember, because it was raining like hell. Was only, I think, 6 motorcycles, and but we raised $9,000, right? So
It was one of my life big experiences. I was like a dog with your head out the window. I was having so much fun. Really, it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and Wayne too. And Wayne is her husband is a polio survivor, and you know he going with this theme also around. So yeah, not glad you are here.
Yeah, but you didn't tell the best part of the story. When we stopped for fuel in Angleton, Gwen gets off my motorcycle and the soles of her shoes fall off. I thought she touched the exhaust pipes on my bike. It just turned out that her shoes were just so old, the soles fell off. She went and got duct tape, put duct tape back on them.
And she came out and she put the duct tape around her shoes and she wanted to go back on the bike, you know. And then we said the weather was so badly. And then we said, no, maybe it's better and safe for you to stay. There was one guy, he had an RV and he wanted to support us, but he had no motorcycle. So he decided to go with the RV, that we have a dry place to drink something or whatever on the way. And then she was going with him to the park where was our end point, and we met the bicycle guys actually over there. So that was our first event. It was
I
fun.
feel like every story of my childhood that was good ended up with duct tape in some flavor. Like if it was a
Every good-
snowmobile story or motorcycle story, there was a boat story, there was duct tape involved. So Gwen, welcome.
Thank
For
you.
motorcycle
Thank you.
routes, though, you have to have the high traction duct tape.
It's 110 mile an hour tape,
Yeah.
100 mile an hour tape.
I have heard of people, of a pilot who mended his airplane wing with
Wow.
duct tape to live home on.
Wow.
That's an act of faith.
Yeah.
That's called gorilla tape.
Yeah.
tape.
I have most certainly towed another Humvee with a Humvee using a duct tape rope. That has happened before.
Whoa.
Say. It's more like 10 mile an hour tape, but that's fine. So I think Gwen, I'm gonna let somebody into this group and I think you're gonna like him. Hi Wayne, thank you very much for joining us. Oh, do you like him best when he's muted? That's how I like my husband actually.
Well, you
Or
know,
figured-
actually,
Howdy. How are y'all?
we've only been married 3 years now. Okay. So I'm
She
not
still likes me best
yet.
when
I
I'm
don't-
muted.
You know, I'm not breaking out the duct tape just yet.
Just yet, not just yet. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate
Well, check
it.
out my shirt. I don't know if you can see it or not. I got the right shirt on. You can't really tell.
Oh, it's got a Rotary logo.
Hey, it's the motorcycle shirt.
Turn around.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, let's see.
yeah, this is what we created. Gwen and I created this T-shirt.
Hang on here. I'm all tangled up with wires.
Yeah.
Is it officially sanctioned for the logo?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Rotary Police didn't say anything about it.
that's right.
Yeah,
Here we go. Can you see it?
very good. Nice,
Mhm.
nice.
We created that. So we wanted that everybody comes to the polio ride and only bring the time and the gasoline. And we didn't want that they have to pay for lunch or whatever, because I found when I was going with Chris around to all the clubs that they are paying all the time. Everybody asks them for something to pay, and we didn't want that. So we found a sponsor, and then we created these T-shirts, and everybody who came to the ride had to bring $100, but hopefully not from themselves, you know, like a donation. And then everybody gets a flag for the motorcycle and polio flag, and they get a T-shirt from us. So at the end, everybody had something. And of course, nobody had to pay. We find one time we found a restaurant, he paid all the food, so nobody had to pay anything. Or we find somebody, you know, from other clubs, they sponsor us the food. So this is a way I like to do it. And all the time we have a
That's
different
awesome.
theme. So we make a scavenger hunt, or we make a, like last time that was 2 years ago now, we was on a very old hotel,
Oh,
Blessing.
yeah, that was neat.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, Gwen and Wayne, or Gwen, we call them Gwen, they follow us with the car most of the time, but they are still on each ride. They, you know, they are with us. So, yeah. Things like that.
Yep.
So it's nice. It's really nice to be together and join and have friendship and fellowship, you know, and this is what we need more than ever, I think, right now, you know.
Uta, I'm really looking forward to you being able to take your knowledge and your ability to organize big events like this and apply it this year. I'm excited for what you're
Come
going.
down.
To Houston, you'll see what she's done.
I think,
Yeah.
you know, I was looking at cruises out of Galveston. So I've got work in San Antonio and a cruise out of Galveston. I think I'm almost there. I'm like, I just gotta,
Do you have to work in San Antonio?
we have potential customers in San Antonio, yeah.
Do it, because that's the best way. So Deb and I will jump on our bike, you know, come up, spend a night with you, make a big party, and then we can go back, you know, and you can go back.
From
to
where
work.
you are to San Antonio, what is that, 17 hours? Something like
No, through 3 hours. 3.5 hours.
Texas is so big.
Yeah, yeah. San Antonio is not bad.
Well, I will work on the customers in San Antonio and not the customers in San Angelo, because that's,
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit more further.
it's a little bit more for sure.
Yes.
Well, Wayne and Gwen, thank you guys both very much for joining us. We had a couple other friends of Uta's on earlier tonight. So it's always nice to kind of spread our wings and say, hey, hi, we're here.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so you guys are also in the Houston area, right? You're in Chris and, well, I guess not.
Christopher's home
Uta.
club, actually.
Home
It's-
club, okay.
Yeah.
No, only Wayne is on another club. He's in West U.
Sharpstown.
Oh,
Sharpstown.
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 Mhm.
It's nice. We have how many different districts represented right now? We literally, so Uta, I'm in Northern Virginia and you're in Houston with you and Chris, and Gwen and Wayne are in the same district.
Wow.
Nobody else here is in my district that I'm aware of. Jim Dodney, do you know what your district is down in South Carolina where you are? Putting you on the spot.
Then we have Scott in California.
I don't recall.
Yeah, and then Keith Lindgren is in Southern Virginia. He's in the other Virginia, real
Oh,
Virginia.
goodness. Well,
Yeah, I've
I'm
been
from in
just-
between y'all.
Are
I'm
you
from Lynchburg.
Richmond?
I'm
Oh,
from
Lynchburg.
Lynchburg. I'm a
Okay.
transplant to Houston.
Nice.
Then we have Otto. Otto is in Canada, actually.
Otto's in Canada, yep.
Oh.
And Linda is in
the,
Washington State.
Yep.
So,
Yep, Scott's in the Bay Area of California. We're all over the place.
yeah.
We are,
Well, you know, for me, that's the silver lining of COVID. And it just, in some ways, it's really just opened up the world to us all. That, you know, we have a new way of being together, and even when we can't be physically together, you know, this primary thing of voice and sound, I mean, a voice and sight, that we can see each other and we can talk to each other. And that for me is, I think, a real boon and connects us more.
yeah, for sure. Uta, when they asked me for our clubs, like, what did your club do this year? What are your shining moments? And I said, you know what? We were able to have members or have speakers come from Australia, from Washington State. We had Egypt. We had somebody join us from London as a regular occurrence. He came
Yeah.
just for happy hours. I mean, this was fantastic. This was awesome. We
Mhm.
never would have had that if we were physically sitting in the same location. So our club is going to maintain that, and that's fantastic. I like that. You know,
But the
we're
good thing is when you have that is that you can bring ideas and, you know, other things from other clubs into this club, you know, that's also a big plus in my opinion.
sure.
So what we can do.
Yep.
You know, I just realized, you guys, that I made Wayne and I late. Did you already get installed, Uta? Did we miss your Damn
She
it.
said,
Well, our apologies. That-
It's recorded. It's
You know
recorded.
Chris, Gwen, you know Chris. Chris is always in time, right?
oh, it's a time zone thing though,
Well,
isn't it?
and no,
Right.
I mean, I literally thought I didn't even, I was oblivious to it being Eastern time zone.
Mhm.
It's,
So
Yeah,
in that respect, we were early.
but we recorded it, Gwen. I can send you a
Yes.
link.
I can redo the whole thing if you want.
Did you install her?
Now,
She
Yeah.
done been installed, Gwen. We're done.
Oh, damn it.
I'm very glad that Gwen signed on early, because I was going to wait till 8 o'clock to join. When I thought it was, I didn't even look at it. She told me 8 o'clock, and okay, that's when I was coming.
We should just get rid of this whole daylight savings time thing anyway. Like, just
yeah.
I agree.
window.
Stupid.
Give me more days.
Well. Hey, are you guys
Regardless.
gonna ride your motorcycles to Houston next year for the Rotary International Convention?
Keith
Keith is,
coming.
I
Let's see.
gotta figure out how many days I can take off, but I might have to rent a bike. Uta, we might have to talk about how I
Yes.
can rent.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bike. Deb, don't you have 16 bikes in your garage? How many bikes you got? You have 3. All right. So do you have any bikes for short people? No.
You're muted.
Deb, you're muted.
She, it's like mystery
I
science.
suddenly
theater
realized I'm like
3000.
nobody can hear me. I have at least 3 in my garage, and I have access to a lot of different things. So
Well, we might need to talk because my old butt might not do the 2,300 miles to your house.
I understand. So yeah, no, and it's actually something Ida and I've been we've talked to dealership, we're trying to figure out, where we can get good rentals from, because it's actually much more difficult than it used to.
Yes, it is.
So we're working on
We
it.
both was pretty busy, but we have to ask your friend up there.
Yeah, for sure.
we can
Well,
make it
let's
for certain
talk
people.
about that. Let's make that a goal for us, as we're trying to encourage IFMR riders to come down to Houston and see what we can do about providing options for renting.
That is something. It's one of the biggest, because I expecting a lot from Germany, because I was in the winter meeting with them, and there are minimum what I saw 10, 12 want to come over.
Well, then I
questions.
think we need to put them all on Victory, Harley, and Indian motorcycles if we're gonna do that.
On Ural, what we heard Wednesday.
Well, we
no, the day
don't
before
necessarily need the Soviet bikes in there, but we got to put them all on American bikes if we're gonna do that.
The most of them are BMW riders.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because
I'm
it's
sure.
long distance. It's because of the long distance and the liability.
It's because they're built. It's because they're built in Munich, man.
Not only that, you can you by Harley especially, you have to look that you don't lose parts, right? And you ride long distance, so still. But I have
It's a
friend-
Harley. You're gonna lose parts no matter what.
Yeah, so
What other bikes are big? Like, there are several bike manufacturers here in the US, but what other
Yeah.
ones in Europe? I was thinking that the BMW, of course. I know Triumph is out of England.
mhm.
Ducati
Gotti,
is
It's
Italian.
Italian. Mhm,
Are there
Yeah.
others?
The Royal Enfields.
ATM out of Austria.
mhm.
Yeah, the Royal Enfields are out of India now. They're
Yeah,
big.
it's Indian. Yeah.
Good things.
The
And that
European,
criteria going about his gold one.
Oh, and the Moto Guzzi's are out of Italy.
Italy, right?
Okay.
but I think what you mean, the really big ones, is also this Victory thing, right? Victory. Then we
They've
have
stopped making-
Honda with the gold wings.
Yeah.
And last time I saw a Kawasaki, it was also cruiser, So there are so many different kind of bikes, But the problem is really, they are people now, and Jim actually was looking also for some over here for the convention. They have an app here, and the one dealership, they said, no way, we're asking for, because it's depend on the insurance. Also, it's hard to get an insurance for this kind of bikes, and they have not that much bikes they make test rides with or whatever, so that's a harder thing. But we have an app here from private people, and they have a certain quality they have to bring in, and so you can rent it from private people. But when people, for example, when I know now, a friend comes over and he needs one, I would try to look that somebody else have a bike or whatever. I had a third one, or we had a third one. We traded it in last time because it's not good for bikes when they staying too much, and this is why I kept it the whole time. And we had a lot of visitors that they was riding with that, but and I'm sure you could ride with her, Amanda, because she was not that high, but we traded it in. Finally,
It was very diplomatic of you, Uta, with your tall.
no, you can really, I'm sure you could, because she was, for me, I don't care. I can handle the weight with the legs. So, and this bike was not that high like mine is, and Christopher's even is higher than mine. from the position because his is a really
I went, we were at the motorcycle dealership tonight when I was spending too much money on accessories. And Mike was like, come sit on this Triumph. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to touch the ground. He said, no, sit on the Triumph. And so have you ever ridden a carousel horse where you get on and your legs are kind of dangling?
Mhm.
That's how I looked on this motorcycle. He's like, you'd be fine. I'm like, until it stopped. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do when I stop?
That's why it's right. So it's- you need it against the fence.
Yeah, so yeah, this meetings we need more of.
Oh,
guys,
well,
really.
again, we do need, so Wayne and Gwen, I want to invite you, and Chris, obviously. You're invited to any meeting you'd like to join us for on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. your time,
6 hour time, yeah.
6 p.m. your time.
Six-
So it's 8 o'clock our time, any Wednesday except for the 5th. And then the 4th Wednesday is always our happy hour meeting. We pretty much just do this unless I take it over and I talk about business and then I get an earful afterwards. So that's Uta's problem. So extending the invite to all three of you to join us at any
Is
point.
it the same link?
It is. We aren't going to change it until we have an issue where somebody decides to do something inappropriate. So for right now, it's staying the same. We're playing the game to see what happens. But so Keith and Deb and Linda, Scott and Otto, thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Uta, I'm very much looking forward to your year. I'm hoping that I can provide as much as I can to help you be successful. And be here to support. And Deb, I very much encourage you to reach out to Mickey because she's learned a lot in the past few months, and to Linda, who just literally knows everything.
That's
And
true.
make sure that we know everything. And then Uta, please keep Keith and David involved in everything so that they can
Scott.
grow knowledge. I'm sorry, Scott and David involved in everything so that they can grow their knowledge over the next couple of years. and
Yeah.
set up for success. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. It's an exciting time. I think we're going to come out of this year stronger than we went into it for sure. So, and that's all on you. No pressure.
Yeah.
All on you.
What was the 5th thing? Have
Is
fun.
it fun?
right?
Have
Have fun.
fun. Right. And on that note, fantastic segue, Uta. So Uta, as becoming president of the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians, would you please join us or lead us? The one
Did it last
lead us in
Wednesday?
our four-way test of the things we think, say, or do, and drink.
First,
Is it the
the
truth?
truth.
There's-
Second,
Is
Is
it
it
fair
fair
to
to
all
All
concerned?
concerned.
third,
Will it
Will it
build
build
goodwill and
goodwill
better
friendship?
fourth,
Will it be
be beneficial
All
to all
concerned.
concerned.
and fifth.
Is
Is
it?
it
Is it
fun?
fun?
Yeah.
And
Is it
these
covered by
days,
Medicaid?
where were the cameras?
Good night, everybody.
Like I said, that's why I give you a warning. before the record button. All right, guys, have
Bye,
a fantastic
everyone.
evening.
Bye, everyone.
Congratulations, Uta.
Congratulations,
Have a-
Uta.
Have a good
Sorry
weekend,
we missed
guys.
the
Thank you,
installation.
Chris.
No, it's okay.
Congratulations.
She put it on video and I sent you the link so you
I
can
did.
watch it.
Cool.
You
We-
can,
we
you can
will.
watch it over and over. It'll be your.
At least 6 times.
Bronze.
And
at least 6
grab some
times.
popcorn. Grab some popcorn, some Bluebell ice cream, some Bach. What else you guys got down in Texas?
Did you say vodka?
I said I like this one. Let's keep her.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
All right,
guys.
bye,
Have a great
everybody.
evening.
Bye, all.